Next up, once the tenant has paid the deposit, it is collected, and within your merchant account on the system, we would want to book them into their actual room in the physical building. So in order to do that, we would first need to vacate them from the virtual building. So heading over to developments, Green Meadows virtual building. Under units, we want to head on over to 340. Click on the yellow arrow, details, and vacate. Once we confirm, all active contracts within that development would go into settlement and they won't be billed further. In this case, there were only 2 contracts. If we head on into that, it was the occupation buffer and the deposit. Just for clarity on the occupation buffer, in order to create a contract, whether it's fixed term or once off, there needs to be an active contract within the tenant's account to be displayed on the drop-down list. I created the occupation buffer as a base offering within the virtual building, so that whenever a student is booked into a unit within the virtual building, they have an active contract. There is, however, no tariffs or readings or bills assigned to that offering, so they do not have to worry about being billed for anything other than their deposit when they are booked into the virtual building. So once they are vacated, we want to occupy them within the relevant unit. So for that, we would head on over to developments. We go to the actual building, which is the Green Meadows pilot. And then we would head on over to a specific unit. For the purpose of this example, we would go over to unit 426A. Similar as the previous example where we vacated them, we would go to details, and this button would show occupy. Upon clicking on the button, we can select the end date, and it is absolutely crucial that this feature is done on the actual day that the student is moving into their unit. The reason for this is because we cannot select a start date. The system takes the day on which this action is performed as the actual start date of all the contracts. Thus, any days missed or possibly weeks missed would result in missed billing, and that billing will have to be recouped via manually taking the readings off of the system and then creating a bill for that tenant. It would be much easier just to occupy them upon the day that they actually move into the unit, and then the billing will run smoothly from there. Once we say link, a pop-up screen would be on your monitor where you can search for a student at Green Meadows. We want to click on the tick box, not the yellow arrow, and then we say link. Once we say confirm, user has been linked and contracts created. So now when we head on over to the end user and we search for student, go into their account, and we can see under contracts, the contract for their deposit is still on the same wallet. We can still see the occupation buffers, which are not relevant, and then a contract for electricity and hot water. Billing will commence then on the following day for the day's consumption.